We've already had our first tropical disturbance of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. I'll have all the details on that and your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. It starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi everyone, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. It is Thursday. I hope you're having a great day. Coming up in this video, believe it or not, friends, the first disturbance of the hurricane season has developed in the eastern Atlantic. We'll talk about that. Still some areas getting some heavy rain and flood potential as we speak, and a look at the rain chance in your area as we move through the weekend. Hope you're having a great day. Again, thank you so much for liking this video. If you have a specific question about the forecast, please drop it in the comments section below. So let's get started. On this Thursday afternoon, you're looking at the very broad perspective of the visible satellite imagery in the Atlantic. Here's the Lesser Antilles. We're way out here in the central and the east central Atlantic. But again, this area that I have been talking about for the last couple of videos has prompted a special tropical outlook from the National Hurricane Center. Now look, they came out yesterday and said, basically, we want to acknowledge this area. There is a cluster of showers and storms and some rotation, and it's very clear to see that. It's not going to become anything. We're only issuing one statement. That's it. But again, we wanted to acknowledge it. So we have our first disturbance of the season. It's not going to even develop into a tropical depression, but it's very clear to see, clear as day, this very small but very tight center of rotation as it pushes off towards the south and to the west. Now, it's going to dissipate and fade as it pushes south and west. Again, we're so far away from the Lesser Antilles, this is not going to directly impact anyone. But to have this disturbance in late April is almost somewhat unprecedented. And again, I've mentioned this before, we've talked about, is this a potential sign for an early start to hurricane season? Well, I think it certainly validates some of the concerns that we have in some of the atmospheric factors that are in play, which are already prompting things like this to develop this early in the season. So again, an extremely unusual feature, and it's going to fade over the next 24 to 48 hours, not directly impact anyone, but the fact that the Hurricane Center came out and said, look, we're acknowledging this disturbance, again, for this time of the year, that's a wowzer. There's no doubt about it. Okay, let's get into what's happening right now across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. First thing I'll do, throw on the temperatures across the area. Again, it's getting hot out there in a lot of areas, easily into the lower 90s in a lot of spots. Where we are seeing some rain, obviously temperatures are dropping back down even into the lower 80s. Now, a couple of areas I want to mention. The first thing is you can see this confluence of clouds, this wind in the central Caribbean, and it's going right over Hispaniola again. It's going to be another very wet day with potential flooding throughout the entire island. And I mean the entire island. We'll have to monitor this situation, but you can see this concentration of thicker clouds and moisture right over Hispaniola. And it's really anywhere from Lacaille all the way towards Punta Cana. This area has seen a lot of rain over the past 5 or 6 days, and we'll continue to see high opportunities for rain coming up as well. And I'm going to have a lot more on the forecast for the Dominican Republic as well. My friends in Jamaica, we're seeing a few showers develop here at this point in time. It's trying to get a little bit more going on the southern side of the island here. So for places like Old Harbor and Kingston, maybe as far inland as the Maypen area right now, a couple of isolated showers, Portmore, Spanish Town. Let me know in the comments section below if you've seen them, but we'll have much more on what I expect for Jamaica and a better chance for rain as we head towards the weekend coming up. But again, it's very clear to see at confluence of air, the lift in the atmosphere. Now, it's the same situation over Puerto Rico again for today. I'm going to throw on the live radar out of San Juan. That's going to pop up here, and I've seen a lot of shower activity along the northern coast and portions of the inland areas as well, from the Arecibo area there's San Sebastian, Isabela. These showers are trying to drift off mainly towards the west right now. And again, just to the west of San Juan, let me switch elevations here. We might pick up a little bit more rain. There you go. So again, the radar has different elevations, different tilts, if you will. And so different ones here on what can be somewhat of a mountainous area inland shows some of that. So you can see just west of Barranquitas, Hope I said that correct. I'm trying to learn all of my Puerto Rican city names. Moving off towards the west here. And again, heavy rain has been in the forecast and will continue to be in the forecast over the next several days for this area. It's just not going to get much better out there, friends. I'm going to switch on over and take off the radar here. Then let me pull back out real quick, and then I'll zoom back in. And again, this is the enhanced imagery, enhanced satellite imagery. So if you see some greens in this area, you're really seeing a lot of moisture and a lot of lift in the atmosphere. And on the eastern sides of the Dominican Republic, clear as day, Samana, La Romana, Santo Domingo, on over towards Punta Cana. I mentioned portions of Puerto Rico as well. You can see those showers developing there. And then I'll go back over to the visible satellite imagery here. It's more isolated in nature here, and these showers are trying to push off towards the east. So there's a bit of a confluence of rain in Puerto Rico. Some of the showers are trying to eke towards the west. Some of them are trying to move off towards the east. And that's just because everything's kind of coming together here. But again, mainly easterly winds when you get into the Virgin Islands and portions of the Lesser Antilles. Now, it's scattered showers that are developing with some thicker cloud coverage for places like Antigua and Guadeloupe and Montserrat and Dominica and Martinique. Can't rule out some showers moving across your area. St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. But generally speaking, the rain is still relatively spotty here. We're going to try and again crop up a few showers here over the next several days. Now, one of the reasons why, of course, the rain has been a little bit more limited is the Saharan dust layer is fairly thick across the Lesser Antilles, especially the Windward Islands, and that dust layer has been able to progress off towards the west. It's through the ABC Islands. You can see a really heavy concentration, those brighter pinks right over places like Grenada and Trinidad and Tobago, even up towards St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Barbados, a little bit more over the Virgin Islands today as well. All of this dust layer is moving west. It is trying to fade as it moves off towards the west, but we do have some very high air alert issues for the Lesser Antilles. Anyone with respiratory issues might want to try and stay indoors. It also just puts that haze in the sky. Again, just kind of that blurry horizon, if you will, when you look off. It can limit and suppress some rain activity, especially again where it is thicker, and that's where we're seeing some of that right now. On over towards my friends in Central America, we've had a few isolated showers develop in portions of Belize. Look at all of the thick clouds and the heavier rain for Panama and Costa Rica. The east winds continue with a beautiful day in the Cayman Islands. It's been absolutely gorgeous in the Bahamas the last several days. Rain chances there going to try and come up a little bit here for portions of the weekend. So what do you say we take a look at the rain over the next 5 days? And again, as we do so, thank you so much for liking the video. If you're not a subscriber yet to Meteo Mundo, you're looking for your forecasts across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, you found your home. Obviously, we're keeping a really close eye, and we'll have all the details coming up with the Atlantic hurricane season as that begins to potentially ramp up again quite early. So let's get into, again, some of this heavier rain. I'm going to start off in Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti, because this is one area that I do still continue to see high concerns about. If you live in this area, let me know what you've been seeing when you're talking about a very mountainous island, when you're talking about the kind of rain that we might see. Mudslides, landslides, isolated flash flooding continues to be an issue. Now, again, not everyone is going to see it, but island-wide, that opportunity, that potential problem exists over the next 5 days. I want to show you here that through the weekend and into early next week, rain chances stick around. It's going to stay wet. We will get pulse-ups of showers and even isolated storms each and every day. This is just one area where this trough, which is situated over the Greater Antilles, will just continue to provide rain chances in this area. And again, some of that will be on the heavier side coming up. I'm going to show you the total rain I expect in this area over the next 5 days. There's a big old bullseye over the Dominican Republic for some of that heavier rain. Now, my friends in Jamaica, a lot of you saying you could use the rain We've had a little bit of beneficial rain in portions of the island. Thank you so much for dropping the comments and let me know what you've seen. I think we're going to get a couple of isolated showers to continue to develop the rest of our Thursday. By isolated, I mean isolated. Now, for tomorrow, for your Friday, it could be a relatively dry forecast. Notice that for tomorrow on April the 26th, I don't see a lot of rain, maybe about a 20% chance. Starting on Saturday, rain chances should begin to improve. We're going to catch a little bit more moisture coming back in with our easterly breeze, and especially for the central and the eastern sides of the island, rain chances should be a bit higher both Saturday and Sunday afternoons, and a few showers trying to linger into Sunday here. Again, let me find that bullseye for you. There it is. That is going to be on Sunday afternoon, slightly higher rain chances that might try and persist into early next week. So places like Kingston and Port Moore, Spanish Town, and even towards Montego Bay and Negril will have rain chances in the forecast, again, starting on Saturday. I do expect the central and then the eastern sides of the island towards Port Antonio, a little bit higher chance than Savannah, Lamar, Negril, in the Montego Bay area, but everyone's going to have a chance for some rain. So that's good news there. Now, one area that says, Rusty, I think I could use a little bit drier forecast is Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands, of course, go along with what I already mentioned in the Dominican Republic. Well, guess what? Not much drier, at least until Sunday. I expect more additional showers to just continue to develop. Some of this again in the evening and the overnight hours, some of this developing in the afternoon. St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix, the British Virgin Islands, all included in this. Again, we've had spotty flash flooding issues there. At this point in time, there are no flash flood warnings, but it's something I'll continue to monitor. Hopefully, we're getting enough breaks in the action, despite the fact that it's getting wet every day, to not have any significant flash flooding potential in this area. It doesn't mean we won't see some river rises. It doesn't mean that we couldn't see some mudslides in some spots. You know, it's something that I'll closely monitor for this area. But again, at this point in time, there is no flash flood warnings in effect. Now, again, the rain has just been more spotty as you get towards Anguilla and Ceiba, St. Bartholomew, St. Martin, Barbuda, Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Montserrat, where we're going to continue to see some scattered showers. The haze is out there right now in this area as well. And again, the moisture coming in with their easterly breeze will provide some showers for Guadeloupe and Dominica and Martinique and Barbados. Now, again, your chance every day is only around 20%. It's a little bit less the farther south that we go, at least initially, but I'm hoping for places like Trinidad and Tobago, we up the rain chance slightly as the thicker Saharan dust layer finally abates a bit. It moves off towards the west, it diminishes, and we get rid of that haze, hopefully by the weekend. Now, we could actually see some showers sliding back over Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, which is an area that is extremely desperate for any rain chances. This will again come your way over the weekend, especially late Saturday and into Sunday. You can see some of that moisture trying to lift in. So I hope we catch some showers in this area then. Between now and let's say early Saturday, I do expect it to remain dry. And the wet weather continues and is just going to be excruciatingly wet for Panama and portions of Costa Rica. A lot of heavy rain has been situated over that area lately. It gets drier to Honduras and on over towards Nicaragua. For my friends in Belize, we've had isolated morning rain along the coast. That will continue with temperatures there, mainly in the upper 80s. Inland, like San Ignacio and Orange Walk, we've had at least a couple of showers try and trickle in, though it's been a mainly dry forecast, and highs there have been in the mid and even the upper 90s. Now, it's been relatively dry for Cancun and Cozumel, which is good news. My friends in the Cayman Islands, a couple of isolated showers possible over the weekend. You also see some of that moisture coming in. So for Georgetown and Weston, I do expect a few spotty showers Saturday, Sunday afternoons. We'll wrap it up again on Monday with a few more showers out there. Between now and, let's say, again, Friday night, though, it's relatively dry. I think the most interesting forecast is going to be in the Bahamas. Look, it's been absolutely gorgeous there. We are going to try to get some showers to move back in over the weekend. But the first thing I want to note is that if we're going to get some rain for places like Grand Bahama and New Providence and Eleuthera and Abaco and Andros starting on late Friday, especially into Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be really light in nature. There might be just a couple of passing showers. So while I'm going to up the rain chance for the Bahamas over the weekend, it may not be enough to really impact you that much as well. At least at this point in time, I wouldn't be changing any outdoor plans because everything just looks to be very light and not concentrated in nature in this area. But I just wanted to highlight the fact that rain chances will begin to improve starting on Saturday and into Sunday, Monday. I'll monitor the situation here, but I'm just not overly impressed with the amount of rain that might fall. So for weekend plans, I wouldn't be too concerned about it very much. Let me show you the winds, by the way, before I switch over here and we take a look at the rain chances overall. But you can just notice the winds, first of all, with our system out here, basically virtually dissipate here. It's going to pick back up the loop. There it is. You can see it quickly fading away. So again, no big deal. I mean, it kind of just tries to hold together. It might even get sucked back in to this very strong mid-latitude storm that is going to be moving through the northeast United States and then into eastern Canada. That's a monster storm, but again, it's cold storm, so nothing tropical in nature there, of course. Again, the breeze continues to the ABC Islands. The one interesting note here is all of the wind that continues to develop in the southwest Gulf of Mexico. At this point in time, it's nothing tropical, but this is always a hotbed for some of the earliest tropical activity. So as we push into early May, that is somewhere to keep an eye on. But as I mentioned, for my friends in the Bahamas, we might pick up a little bit more of a fresher breeze over the weekend here. You notice that over the weekend, we might get a little bit more in the way of some 20-knot gusts from time to time, so surf and sea conditions might pick up a little bit as those isolated showers move through. So what do the rain chances look like? Well, we're dry for tomorrow in the Bahamas, 40% chance on Saturday, 30% chance on Sunday. Belize City, just a low-end chance for a few morning showers, but many dry hours and locations across Belize. Jamaica, again, your rain chance is going up. Just about a 20% chance tomorrow, 30 Saturday, but a 50% chance for showers on Sunday. Places like the Dominican Republic, they're going to stay wet. 70% chance tomorrow, Saturday, still a 50% chance on Sunday. And then if you drop down Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, again, relatively high rain chances through Saturday. I think this area does begin to get a little bit drier beginning on Sunday and into early next week. And then for Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago, it's isolated to scattered showers the next couple of days. I put the 30% chance in for Barbados on Sunday. I think we'd at least get the opportunity for a few more showers in that area then. Okay, now we're going to look at the rain totals across our area over the next 5 days. Again, these are extremely impressive totals in Hispaniola. Once again, we're bullseyeing 3, 4, maybe even up to 5 inches of rain in some interior sections of the Dominican Republic. The rain chance or the higher rain totals are a little bit lower along the immediate coastline, but even towards Santiago de los Caballeros, you're looking at 2 to 3 more inches of rain. Just east of Port-au-Prince, we could have another bullseye there. Lacaille, maybe another 2 inches of rain. So still the potential for significant rainfall totals over the island over the next 5 days that could lead to isolated or localized flash flooding. Once again, we start to bullseye a little bit more rain on the eastern coastline of Jamaica as well towards Port Antonio. Let me get that in there. There you can see maybe 1.5 inches of rain on the far eastern tip of the island. You get towards Kingston, again, decent rain chances and totals there. 1 inch or more over the next 5 days, we'll take that. The rain totals look okay in the Mandeville Maypen area there as we get towards St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland Parish and Savannah Lamar. Rain chances again are pretty good. Not bad, we'll take it. Slightly drier or at least lower rain totals are expected on the northern side and the western sides of the island. Back over towards Puerto Rico, again, it's not going to be as heavy as what they're going to see in the Dominican Republic, which is great news. We really don't need much more rain here, but from Ponce and Guayama and San Juan and Fajardo, you can see some decent rain totals there. Esperanza, 1 inch of rain. My friends in St. Croix, Christiansted, about an average of 1 inch of rain over the island over the next 5 days, potentially slightly lower for St. Thomas and St. John and the British Virgin Islands, but the opportunity for rain exists there. And again, you'll see that the model will say, hey, look, there will be some concentrations of rain in the portions of the Leeward Islands. That being said, again, we never focus on one spot. I would average 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain in this area, basically passing showers. Again, many dry hours, passing showers Wouldn't be changing any plans except for the fact with the haze, you just might want to stay indoors because of that, at least initially. Should get better though over the weekend. Rain totals come down for the rest of the island chain, Barbados towards St. Vincent, and again, Trinidad and Tobago. There's just not a ton of rain over the next 5 days. Again, we're going to try and bullseye a little bit more in the way of some showers for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao for Saturday and Sunday. Hope we get a quarter to maybe some isolated half-inch rainfall totals in that area. It's just a mess of rain for Panama and Costa Rica. Hopefully the heaviest rain stays just offshore. As I've mentioned for Belize and Cancun and Cozumel, it's mainly right along the immediate coast. You get inland, it's relatively dry. Nice little bullseye of rain just south of Cozumel there. Cancun about a quarter of an inch over the next 5 days, maybe up to a half inch. And again, it's going to be widespread low rain totals over the Bahamas. Nothing very concentrated for Walker's Key or Freeport or Lucaya or Marsh Harbor or Nassau or Androstown or Arthurstown. I would expect your area to see a quarter of an inch of rain over the next 5 days. Friends, where else can you find us? We're across all social media, Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. You have a picture or video you want to send me or a business inquiry, mymediamundo@gmail.com. Once again, thank you so much for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing. Obviously, with this first disturbance in the Atlantic already, you know I'm keeping a very close eye on our forecast, and I'll do that right here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon at Meteo Mundo.